quite substantially up, 2,400 prelims. He's gone over 4,000 points in his 54.80 out of Jason Lee. So there's quite a wide spread there. However, as we've seen in the other finals, Gus, it's anybody's show. And typically, we've seen in the last little few finals, everybody is pushing their score up from the prelim round, and quite often hitting personal bests.
Yeah, we did see in this last group, the women's, we saw Svenja Hempelman jump hers up about 400. We saw the same out of Steffi Kirsch. So just what you said, the game is game on here at the Worlds, and people know they got to ski their best scores in the final round in order to get on the podium.
All right, we're just waiting to get that boat loaded up. And for the senior men's boat parade at the Lennox Fencing 2018 World Barefoot Waterski Championships here at Dream Lake in Napanee, Ontario. Oh. Thank you. I didn't know that, so I will slow down on those when I say them. I'll give them time. Thank you. All right. The boat is pulling away from the dock, and we have in the boat your senior men's trick finalist for this Lennox Fencing 2018 World Barefoot Waterski Championships. And I'm loving I'm saying this because first up from Canada, we have Don Schwartz. From Sweden, Jim Nyberg. From the USA, a number of skiers. First is Rich Kaufman. We've got Dan Baumgartner, William Farrell, Jerry Canoyer. From Team Australia, we have Brett Sands. And rounding out the field from the USA, Jason Lee. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Mike's Tires, for helping out with this event. Okay. Okay. We got a picture up here. Great. We're going to announce the athletes again. If you get the camera on the boat. There. Great shot. Your finalist in the 2018 Lennox Fencing World Championships from Canada, Don Schwartz. From Sweden, Jim Nyberg. USA, Rich Kaufman. Dan Baumgartner. William Farrell, Jerry Canoyer. From Australia, Brett Sands. And from the USA, Jason Lee. All right. The boat will make its way back to the dock, unload the finalists. We'll get the towboat to do a leveling pass, and we'll be underway on these senior men trick finals. All right, so we'll go through our list of bronze sponsors. I'd like to acknowledge the bronze sponsors that helped make this event possible. A lot of these are local businesses, but first up is Allen Insurance. Allen Insurance, this is a list of the bronze sponsors. We also have the County Farm Center as a bronze sponsor. County Farm Center. Cross Border Solutions. They're a sponsor of this event. And also Dr. Marcel Brunet, one of our athletes from the Canadian team, has sponsored the event. And Franklin Coach Lines. We were on Franklin Coach Lines last night, driving up to Gananoque for a boat cruise. And we were on a Franklin's Coach Line coach. There's also Hermer's Heavy Equipment and Houston Barriers. We have Iron Eagle Industries. And then Mark Crucci, Mike Malepsky, one of our officials here at the tournament. We also have Ryko, Shield Fence and Wire, Sunbelt Rentals. I saw them bringing in some equipment last night. I think they sponsored the lights for our night jump and probably some other equipment, Sunbelt Rentals. The Backwater Design Company. This is a former Canadian team member Caitlin Rowland's company. She designed the logo for the World Championships. Beautiful logo. And rounding out our bronze sponsors, Waterski and Wakeboard Ontario. All right, I think the towboat's going to do its leveling pass. Go up and down the lake here. Probably give us some time to acknowledge some of our silver sponsors at this event. Bricaza Construction. Bricaza Construction, actually driving to the site this morning, I looked across. There's a new gas station being built in town, and the site preparation, excavation, and construction of this. I saw Bricaza Construction excavator on site. They're a local company. You have Dig and Dirt Construction, which on the way up to the boat cruise last night, cruising down the highway. On the side of the road was a dig and dirt excavator, and they're doing some highway work on the 401. Marshall's Lawn Care and Garden Center, silver sponsor. Mike's Tire, another silver sponsor for us. They're a local Napanee business. We also have Stone Mills Township, who has supported this event greatly. Sullivan and Son Construction, a local construction company. And then we also have Deerhaven Farm and Garden Center, and they're the ones that supplied, I believe, all of these brand new John Deere tractors that are hooked onto the Sangers. Each towboat has its own brand new tractor. Makes it very easy for us and efficiently to get the boats in and out of the water. Deerhaven Farm and Garden Center, much appreciate their contribution to make this event a success. So, the boat is at the other end. Going to be coming back down shortly. And as I said, the first up in this event is Don Schwartz from Canada. Squeaked into the event, so to speak. 2,400 points, capable of a lot more than that, Gus. Not sure if you know this, Gus, but Don Schwartz is the 2010 World Trick Champion, gold medalist, senior division, 2010. He's looking to get that back.
Yeah, not real surprised there, Richard. When I see the way Don's capable of turning in the preliminary and the preliminary round, and we also saw him skiing in the open division, he can throw it down, man. He's got some nice turns. The guy is he's a specimen. He's in good shape. He takes good care of himself and trains hard. So, yeah, and I think anything's possible here with Don Schwartz right out of the gate.
Got himself a really nice run. He told me, in the preliminary round when he skied, didn't get credit for some of his tricks, but he said, I've got a real fun run. I just enjoy doing this run. A lot of surface turns, and he's kind of perfected some of them that we're having a struggle with in the past. So he's just got a fun run, which is really, really important. Nothing in there where he's got some anxiety about it. He just goes out and he's really enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to seeing, a little smoother, cleaner tricks, and he's got potential of boosting his score up in the 4,000 point range.
Yeah, I think you hit a key point there, Richard, when you said it's a fun run. It's when it's fun, you're confident in what you're doing. And like you say, if you're running down the lake and you're skiing with confidence and you're enjoying being into that run and excited about it, it takes your performance to another level. So what a great state of mind that is, to go out and just ski because you're so confident in having fun with what you're doing. It's a recipe for success.
Yes, it is.
So Don is from the other side of Canada, huh? We're here in the eastern part of Canada in Ontario, and Don is from the other side of the country, I understand.
Don is from beautiful British Columbia. That's the slogan on our license plates, beautiful British Columbia. Lives up at Whistler at one of our premier resorts. But right now, the rope's getting tight, and he's going to come in with what looks like possibly a toe up. Yeah, there he goes to go ahead. Here's Don Schwartz from Canada on the water, the Canadian in the finals of these Lennox Fencing World Championships. Outside the wake, going for that toe start. There it is, nice and clean. Real confidence builder, got that nice toe start. Here's a provisional turn to the back. He's going to start with a back-to-back. There it is, nice back-to-back. Here's the reverse, beautiful executed turn. Comes to the front, goes to the back. This is a series of 4 turns. Reverse front to back, gets in time. He's a lot cleaner today. There's a 1 foot, there's a hop. Much better pass for Don Schwartz today than in the preliminary round. He's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice run there for Don Schwartz, and he got everything in. You could see at the end there, he got his last trick in, and then just shortly after the buzzer went off, and he just rode it out. So he knew he's trained this run. He's run it in practice. He knows what he had for time, and it looks like he got everything in that he intended to, and I thought he skied it all pretty nice and clean.
Yeah, he's gonna be close to 2,000 points maybe on that run. He'll be 1,700-1,800 points, depends on that. I think it's got 1,600 on that pass. I think that first back-to-back was probably did not get credit for. That's how I'd added up. Maybe a little bit of a pause when he got to the back or the front on that, but 1,600 points. He's gonna be pleased enough with that.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too, Richard. Is if they took anything out, it would have been probably that back-to-back. There's, it wasn't bad. I think the handle kept moving. Maybe there was the feet stopped moving just for a slight fraction of time. But I thought overall it was like we said. I mean, obviously when you look at the first round score of 2,400. He definitely, I think, had a better first go of it here in the finals than he did during the preliminary round.
Yeah, I think so too, Gus. He's got coming back. He's got a 540. He does. He's got some front threes. He's going to come in the course. Not sure if he's going to do the loaded line step tricks or not, but he's got the back deep coming in. Don Schwartz from Canada, second pass in these finals. He's getting settled in. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to come in backwards here. First trick, looking for maybe a 5. We'll see. There's the time. That's a nice 5. He stood it up. He's in there 1 foot. Looking for a front-to-front 3. There's just a front-to-back. 1 foot. Back to front. Oh, looked like he was going for a back. He's holding on to that. Anyway, Don Schwartz. Looks like he might have made that 540, Gus.
Yeah, I think in one of the things I remember about Don's preliminary round run, I think that's what we saw, that the turns weren't as fluid in the first pass. The second pass, he got the mojo going, and it just seemed to flow better. I think, that's that might be kind of a signature thing here for Don, is he needs that one pass to get things warmed up a little bit. That second pass, the turn was definitely more fluid.
He's got a 1830 score, total score. I guess they did not give him credit for that beautiful 540 that he did, Gus. Hey, they're a little tight here, which is good. But that 540 might have been a slight pause at his first 180 of it. But Don Schwartz, great. Congratulations. Team Canada, first off the dock in the finals of the Senior Worlds. Next up, coming back from a few years off, we're really, really happy to see Jim Nyberg from Sweden back at the World Championships. Made it into every finals. I think he medaled in the jump event yesterday, Gus. I think, was he the third man in the jump event, the bronze medalist?
Yeah, that sounds right. Jim's having a great comeback tournament here. Been skiing strong. Had some pretty nice wake slalom scores this week, and he's actually, if I remember, he's right there. I think he's in the 2 spot, maybe 2 or 3. I mean, him and Brett Sands and Jason Lee, I think, are kind of in the 1, 2, 3 in the overall right now.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I think they're all kind of tight in the overall. Jim Nyberg, beautiful tricker. He can do some wonderful turns. Hey. So he's going to do a positional turn to the front when he comes in. Jim Nyberg for Sweden, back deep, more than capable of going over that 4,000 plus. He's got that back deep start outside the wake. He called for doing maybe a turn to the front before the course. Here it is. There is the 4 turns coming in. There's the 4 turns. There's a front-to-front 3, reverse front-to-front 3, a little bit of a bobble on that stand. I'm not sure about it. The flip got torn out on the flip. little sideways into the wake and let go. But those are beautiful turns that Jim does.
Yeah, I think. Do we see the 4 180s or just the one direction? Cause
he did what he did. He did a provisional turn to the front,
right.
and then very quickly went straight into 4 turns to the front, 2 front 360s, and then that flip.
There was one turn on front to back where that right shoulder dipped down, and it cost him a little time. He recovered, but it took a little time out of his run. That 360 front to front was a beautiful turn, the first one, and it was the second one that where he kind of lost the handle, couldn't save it, and got pulled out, and little meat hooking on top of the table and bailed out. But I think we're getting a pretty decent score here. What are we hearing, Richard?
He reported in, I believe it was 1600. Not what I added up. I thought maybe it was a 1700. Provisional score, 1600 points. That would equate to the back deep, 4 turns, and one of the 360s adds up to 1700 points for me. But boat score from the boat was 1600 points. That's a decent run. He's capable, obviously, of an additional 1,000 to that if you get a reverse 3 and the flip and executed in time. We'll probably see that flip come in the second pass, I believe.
Yeah, I thought the rotation on the flip was actually pretty good. He kind of rushed it, but meaning he maybe didn't get he didn't get it prep. He didn't get that handle prepped as much as he wanted to because the rotation was good. He just got that handle out on the landing and just couldn't save it.
All right, Jim Nyberg from Sweden. Don Schwartz's score was at what was his total score? 1830. Jim Nyberg's at 1600, very close to what Don had on his first pass. We'll see if it's going to be the toe up. Oh, Jim's going to just do looks like probably a 1-foot stand-up. I know he's got a bad knee, really bad knee. He's in that hot tub of the hotel for a couple hours in the morning before he comes to the site. Says he's got to keep it moving to stay, keep it from getting stiff. Here's the first trick, coming in backwards. There he is with a back-to-back. That looked nice. Reverse back-to-back. 1-foot reverse. He's going for a wake turn to the front, and a wake turn to the back. Didn't quite hang on, but wow, I think it's one of the only skiers I've seen do a wake turn in this tournament.
Yeah, the wake turn in was beautiful. Boy, that was smooth. Got a nice little pop there off the wake. Great rotation. The landing, he didn't over-rotate, which sometimes when you do it off the wake, you have a tendency it's harder to judge the momentum of the turn versus when you're on the water, and he nailed that beautifully. And then the wake in to out. It was a nice turn again, but he just lost that handle, got a little tall, but the rotation was sweet.
Yeah, that wake turn front to back from the end to the out that's a bit of a maneuver. You got to really set up for it. It's got the adrenaline flowing when you're jumping off the water, going to the lower level. It takes a bit to get that done. The turn to the front, not quite as much anxiety, maybe so to speak, about it, but that turn to the back could be really nerve-wracking. It sounds like a provisional score total score of 2,300. So again, looks like maybe didn't get credit for a few tricks. So the the ladies' trick results are now posted. The final results are now posted. Yeah, we're seeing the points kind of a little tighter here. The provisional scores are coming in a little less than what we're seeing. So the judges are pretty tight here today. Multiple turns. Looks like Jim didn't get credit for a couple of his multiples.
Yeah, and we've got the score now posted for Don Schwartz. What we had as provision is going to stick 1,830 points for Don Schwartz of Canada. We're going to bring out Rich Kaufman to fast, 44 miles an hour is what the call is here on his first pass.
So Rich Kaufman, I think we heard he's going to do a provisional turn prior to the course. Rich does all the multiple turns. He's doing the fives, the back-to-backs, front threes. You'll notice he's very slow, consistent, smooth, takes his time. Probably going to be doing the back deep start.
Yeah, Rich is out of the eastern region of USA, and he's a guy that just does a lot for the sport, really runs the regional there, is doing a lot of development programs with the young kids. Here we go, Rich Kaufman, USA, on the water, pass number 1.
There he is doing a front deep. I was incorrect. Coming in frontwards, I believe he's going to do a provisional turn to the back, and then he'll do his series of service turns from the back. There's the turn to the back, coming in the course, waiting for that first turn. Here it is. That's the back-to-back, back-to-front 5. He's doing the reverse, turn to the back, turn to the front, turn to the back, turn to the front. That's 4 turns. Got stood up on what was probably going to be a 360 and lost a handle. So we'll see if that 5 comes into play there for him. That'll be a 1750 if he got scored for everything.
Yeah, I thought it was a good run. His multiple, I thought, was pretty nice and continuous. Fluid. It looked better than the ones that we've had on the water in previous passes here. We'll see how tough the judges are today and where the line is and what they're going to award for the multiples.
Looked pretty good to me here. Okay, so 950 points on that first pass. So I think they got some very consistent judging here. That 5 to the front, no credit. 4 turns, and the front deep start, 50 points, 950.
Yeah, this is the hatchet crew here this morning. You got to ski it clean, or they're not giving free handouts there in the boat. The standard's pretty high, but it's consistent across the board from what we've seen. They're making these guys work for the points on those multiple turns this morning.
Yeah, this boat crew's not going to be getting a lot of beer given to them at the beer tent tonight by these guys.
Not the senior guys. They got to figure out their strategy. It's not the junior boys or girls that hold the pocketbook and are running back and forth to the beer garden. It's these senior guys. So, judges, if you want to hydrate yourself tonight, this is the group you need to suck up to.
Anyway, Rich Kaufman there, catching his breath into the pass. Eastern region, USA. Many times that Rich and his wife Vicky have been the chief video operators here at the World Championships. Countless hours he puts into the sport. He's now on the World Barefoot Council just to add more time to his life there. So he's definitely a huge volunteer for the sport, as well as obviously one of the top skiers in the world. Okay, there he is. He got the back deep coming in. Rich Kaufman, second off the dock in these finals. That's the 200-point start. He is up. He's outside the wake. Probably going to be, starting to run backwards. Nice and close, feet together, nice stance. There's the back-to-back. Back-to-back reverse. These are looking good. Setting up for maybe a 5. There's a back-to-back, the front. I think that back-to-front 5 looked pretty good. A 1 foot, going for a toe hold, boat slowing down. I think that he, very close to getting those 2 back-to-backs and a back-to-front 5.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been a pretty tough judging crew here. I'm not sure what they look fine to me, but it, like I say, we went a high standard here in this event with the judging crew, and it's consistent though.
So we got 2280 total score for Rich Kaufman there, 2280. So he added 1130 points to his run there. Not sure how that ramps out. Got the start. 200 points. Maybe the 540 scored. Maybe it was the one of his back-to-backs. Not sure.
Yeah, one of the things statistically you can take a look at, like we said, I mean, we saw the turns not getting credit, but it's across the board. When you look at the scores from the preliminary round, these guys are skiing stand-up passes, and we're still, Don Schwartz is down 600. Jim Nyberg's down 300 from where he was. Rich Kaufman's down 400 points from where he was. So, it's across the board. It's, it's consistent judging is what we're seeing.
Yep.
Next skier on the water is going to be USA's Danny Bumgardner.
All right, well, that rope tightening up, that Sanger Barefoot boat, one of our premier sponsors here, gold sponsor, Sanger and Inmar Engines. Rope's getting tight. 10-second call for Dan Baumgartner, USA, in these finals of the Lennox Fencing 2018 World Championships. Going to be coming in with the toe start. And there's the call. There's the go call from Dan Baumgartner, USA.
Yeah, you're defending senior men's world gold medalist in this event. Danny Bumgardner can get it done. Look for that front line step turn. It's pretty sweet. Here we go.
Oh, out the front on his toe start. Probably went a little early on the plant. Maybe the boat wasn't up to speed. Stuffed his foot in, lost the handle. Dan Baumgartner. Wow, this is really a different event here. We saw in some of the other divisions yesterday, the scores were higher and just kept getting PBs and higher and higher and higher. Here we're seeing a little bit different today.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say after that. I didn't expect that at all, and it's one of those things. It's unfortunate. We're in the finals now, and you're hoping to ski your best score. My heart broke for Terry Larson-Jones. Saw the missed start on the back flyer, and now with Danny on the front toe up, it's just it's a tragedy to see that happen. And here in the finals, when you want to put up your best score.
All right, the boat actually has a little bit of an equipment problem. They lost a pin for the Super Fly High. It's going to be coming back to the dock, so homologator, if you're on the dock there, we're going to need to get some parts. The pin for the Super Fly High, one of the parts that holds it together, is missing. They're coming back to the dock, and then they'll get going again.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is now I'm asking my question. Is that was there a snap? That how the clamp works on the front strap for the Super Fly High? If that released while he was under tow from the pressure and torque on the pull, there would have been kind of a snap back with some slack there. That might, if that's the case, Danny might be in a re-ride situation here. But I haven't heard that specifically. The boat's coming back. I don't see Danny and the jet ski coming back, so I don't know what the call is going to be on this one.
Yeah, they're not sure what's happening, but definitely you got a bit of equipment issue for the extended pylon on top of the tower. You just want to make sure it's secured properly. I think the pin just popped out, might have fell in the water, the safety release. So we're going to have a little break there while they're looking at fixing the boat. Looks like Dan Baumgartner is still down at the other end. Probably didn't affect his start. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. Okay, well, got a little break in the action, so to speak. I want to acknowledge some of our gold sponsors here for this World Championships. The Ontario Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport. This is the government of the province of Ontario where we are. They have grants that are offered out if organizers are going to host an international amateur single sport event. That is exactly what this event qualified for. The organizers applied for this grant and received a generous grant from the province of Ontario that greatly assisted in making this World Championships so memorable, so comfortable for everybody on site, the officials, the athletes, and the spectators. So we thank them very much. We also have Camo Sync in the Fitzgibbon construction. Camo Sync is it's a color-controlled camouflage, I understand, that can automatically change color to match your environment. So Camo Sync, one of our gold sponsors. They may be here today. We're not sure, Gus, because they've got camouflage, and they may be just blending into the background.
They might, and I tell you what, I'm all over that adaptable camouflage, something that changes on the fly. You know, I'm a big hunter back in the States, and I've got 14 different shades because when I start the season here in a month, everything will be green, and then it'll be partial green and brown, and it'll kind of go to brown to half white, and then all white, and instead of having 10 different shades of clothing for weather changing patterns as the season goes on, it'd be nice to just go with the one and roll with it.
Yeah. Also a gold sponsor, the Devlin Auto Group. The Devlin Auto Group, I think right here in town, I believe. So if anybody local or not looking for a new model, I think they can go in there and ask Brad, and he will track down the model that you're looking for as best they can. The Devlin Auto Group. Another gold sponsor, Gananoque Chevrolet. They are providing us and helping us with transportation for the officials to and from the site, to and from the airport. That's Gananoque Chevrolet. Hardington Equipment. Hardington Equipment is a sponsor of the event. They are a farm equipment supplier, I believe. Kubota is one of the brands they carry. I see a Kubota tractor over there hooked on to one of our trailers. Midas Auto Service Kingston. This is, I don't know if some of the foreigners didn't know, but at least in Canada, U.S., Midas, when you get the Midas touch on your auto service. That's Midas Auto Service in Kingston. We have Sheelan Pools and Fresh Creek. Sheelan Pools and Fresh Creek. 2 days ago, driving to the site, I saw a tri-axle large dump truck turning out onto the road, and it was Sheelan Pools on the side of the dumper. They obviously do quite a bit of business and big projects. They own their own tri-axle dump trucks, so they've been a sponsor of this event. So thank you very much to Sheelan Pools. Taggart Construction and Tamarack Development, another construction company. I see this across the board. There are a lot of developers and construction companies that have greatly helped out in getting this event produced. So thank them. The TCO Agromart, they're right there on the corner of County Road 11 and 41, just down the road here from Dream Lake. So TCO Agromart, thank you very much for your support for these World Barefoot Championships. Looks like the problem is solved with the boat. It's heading back down the course. Wow, yeah, unfortunate fall on that start for Dan Baumgart. That is something that, can't believe we've seen him miss that. Like you say, same as Terry Larson-Jones in the back flyer. A staple trick for these skiers. I know Dan would never have thought that he'd miss a toe start. Sort of the bread and butter trick before he gets into the course. So,
yeah, I don't know what he's got packaged up for points on first pass, second one. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to repeat that pass or just go with his second pass. I don't know which is the higher scoring pass, but we do have some good news for Rich Kaufman. His provisional score was bumped up 200 points. So coming in from the judges' box there, we've got Rich Kaufman in the lead with 2,480 points, followed by Jim Nyberg's posted 2,300. We've got Don Schwartz at 1,830. What's interesting is that lead that Jason Lee had in the overall, I thought it was bigger yesterday, more sizable, but we're showing only a just under 200-point lead between him and Brett Sands right now, with Jim Nyberg in the bronze medal for the overall spot.
Yeah, Brett Sands at 5,500 in tricks here, but yesterday in the Open semifinals, we saw Brett go out and push it towards his PB. He got 7,100, and that'd be a game changer for that overall right there.
Yeah, Brett's skiing amazing at these World Championships, putting up wake slalom scores in 18 plus, and some jumping nicely. He's really got it together here. I've been impressed. It's been awesome to see him back skiing at a World Championships and doing it at such an incredibly high level as well.
Yeah, he's got an 864 overall points in tricks. If he does a 7,100-point run and Jason Lee stays where he's at, that could be a big game changer. Brett will go up to 1,000 points. Jason will drop down a bit, and that may be, what determines the overall. This is the final event in the senior men, so every skier in the water, the overall is slightly changing. Right now we got Dan Baumgartner. He's electing to come back into that toe up and do it again. 400-point start. He's going to get every point he can out of his run. Effortless toe up, unbelievable. Can't believe he missed the first round on that. Here he goes, snapping the rope. Turn to the back, turn to the front, tumbles out of it. Dan Baumgartner, he was on fire. It looked like he was just going to go a little quicker than normal to get more tricks in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Knowing Dan, he didn't want to end the tournament without hitting that front toe up and having that in his mind. So he was going to go after that. He made that toe up really nice, that pass, and then went into a setup and went into a 180 turn and just lost it at the back.
Got 650 points for Dan Baumgartner on that pass. 650, got the front to back, got the toe start. So disappointing, I know for sure. Dan Baumgartner, defending world gold medalist, I believe you were saying, Gus. So he's a true competitor. I know he'll hold his head high. Dan Baumgartner, USA.
Yeah, Danny put up 3,710 in this event back in 2016 to take that gold medal. So, yeah, it's a heartbreak here for him. We'll see if the fellow USA guys can get it done for him. We've got a whole slug of them here in this event, starting out with we got William Farrell, USA, coming up next, and then Jerry Canoyer, followed by Brett Sands of Australia. And as you mentioned, Richard, that is really not just skiing for a medal here. That's trying to put up an overall title at the World Championships for the seniors here. And then we've got Jason Lee, our top seed, rounding out the group. So going to get real exciting here next 4 or 5 skiers.
Definitely. So in the water now, Team USA, William Farrell, lives in California, from Louisiana, the Bayou Boogie barefooter on the water. He's skied at more World Championships than I'm going to say than anybody here. He started skiing World Championships, I believe, in 78 or 80 in the U.S. team. Such a longevity in the sport here. William Farrell, capable of taking home the gold medal in this event quite easily. He's a master of these surface turns. So he can get upwards of the 6,000-7,000 points if everything pulls together for him. 10-second call from William Farrell. Here we go. Looks like a front deep start. Here's the signature 2-foot stand up in the middle of the wake. Not sure if he does a provisional turn to the back or not. We'll have to wait and see. We'll call it. There's a turn to the back. He is a provisional turn. Coming in the course back to back. Reverse back to back. Back to front 540. That looked good. 1 foot. What do we got here? It's front to front 3. Revert at 4 turns at the end of the course. All in time. Going for the toe hold. Looks like in time. I don't know what to say on that, Gus. Stand-up run looked good to me, but from what we're hearing from the boat scores, they're a little tight on these turns today.
Yeah, they are. They have been consistently tight on them. Yeah, Willie going with the multiples, the 3s, the front to fronts, the back to backs. I thought they looked pretty darn good to me.
Oh, that's 900 points for his 4 turns at least, guaranteed. He did 2 back-to-backs, back front 5, had the 1 foot in the middle there, and then went for the 4 turns. So he's got a 50-point start. He's got a 30.1 foot, the 4 turns. He's a minimum of 980, plus the multiples, should he get credit for them. Potentially, we got a new leader just with that 1 pass. We're waiting for the provisional score, but that could be upwards of 2,500 points. I think he said 2280, 3280. 3,280, 320. Yes, we have a new leader. 3,280 points for William Farrell on that pass. I think he got credit for everything he did there, Gus.
Yeah, it looked like he did, and at the end there, he was just throwing in a toe hold. So I know he was just trying to chisel out whatever he had, if there was any fraction of time remaining, which to me tells me he had gotten in everything he had planned to score in that run. So good, solid run, 3,280. Willie's been up over 5,000 here. He skied at 5,280 at the U.S. Nationals here a couple weeks ago in Florida. So. He's gonna push that up there. I think over 5,000. Try to add a couple thousand points to his score and get on the podium.
He's coming in backwards. That was a provisional turn to the front out of course. He's coming in frontwards now. There's a front to front 3, a 1 foot. Looks like a 5 to the back, a 1 foot. Going to the back, to the front, to the back again. That's a 720 to the back to front. He's got the 720 to the front. That looked good. Going for the toe hold. Not quite. Not sure what he got in time. But USA, William Farrell, new leader in this event.
Woo! Yeah, he's stoked. He's liking that. Working the crowd. Yeah, oh yeah. Little foot clapping going on there for Willie.
William Farrell had the front to front 3, 540, 2 720s. Beautiful skiing. Waiting for the provisional score out of the boat, but I got to say, a lot of that looked good to me, Gus.
Yeah, people are losing their bloody minds on shore over that. That was quite a performance there for Willie. A lot of energy here on site after that. Really some great skiing for William Farrell.
So we got 40, 10, 4,310 points. Looks like maybe provisional score chopped them down on a couple tricks. 4,310. Our new leader right now. Stand-up passes for William Farrell.
Yeah, that if that sticks, that would be enough for a podium. It's up to Jerry here. He had a good run, though. 4,000 is what Jerry put up in the prelim round, so he's right there. And I know Jerry can go bigger than that, too. So this is going to be a fun race. We got 3 final skiers. After Jerry skis here, the picture's going to start getting clearer for who's going to be on the podium.
All right. Team USA, Jerry Canoyer, looks like a front flying dock start. He's got 4,000 preliminary round. He needs to get over 4,000 here to get on the podium. There he is outside the wake. It's the 1 foot stand up. Jerry Canoyer, look for 3 flips. He's going to do the wake to wake flip here, opening up his pass. There it is, the wake to wake, misses the wake to wake flip, his signature trick. Jerry Canoyer, disappointing for him. He does 3 flips and amasses 3,000 points in one run. Missed the first flip.
Yeah, that's a real heartbreaker there for Jerry and fellow U.S. skiers. He he went big on that. The rotation, everything was good. Cleared the wake real nice. Got way out past the wake and just couldn't hang on to the landing.
So that's 150 points on that pass, 150 for Jerry. He can come back with that flip run again. I think it's worth like close to 3,000 points with his flip run. That with a 150, still not going to be enough to catch William Farrell. It looks like at this point in time that William Farrell will be standing on the podium.
Yeah, it certainly is. I don't know with a 4,000 points and tricks in the preliminary round for Jerry Canoyer. You know, Willie's already 300 points past there. It's going to be pretty tough. Jerry would have to ski out of his mind. I'm not sure if you do the 3 flips in your run, if there's time to even push it, you know, over 4,000. As you mentioned just a little bit ago, 3,000 is probably all he's going to squeak out of that. That's going to come up, you know, 13,000 to 1,300 points short, I think, of being on the podium at this point.
Yeah, disappointing. Doesn't look like any chance of reride here for Jerry Canoyer.
Yeah, it's tough to get that re-ride when you're kind of up skiing that far down the course. And when it's a trick like that, where it's a big trick with a wake to wake and clearing the wake as big as he did, I just don't know that the judges would see anything there that would, you know, the only thing I could think of if it was a slow boat speed and you hit the water and you were sinking and that's why the handle got popped, but that's not looking to be the case here. We're getting Jerry Canoyer from the USA back in the water for his second and final pass.
Yeah, these guys, we've got the boats are all outfitted with a cruise control system, Gus. You can plug the skier's speed in that we want into the cruise control. You drive the start, lay the throttle down when the start's done. It goes right up to the requested speed and stays on it nailed. You're not going to see a lot of re-rides for speed unless they're calling some extremely hot speeds, but we got Jerry Canoyer. He's going to be doing a toe up. So he's got credit for a dock start. Toe up, 400-point trick. I'm guessing we might see these flips come back at us. It's his only hope of getting on the podium is to run those flips again. Here's a toe up, nice and strong. Looked like he fell out of it a bit. Not sure. He is going to do these flips again. USA, Jerry Canoyer putting on a show here. There you go. There's the wake to wake flip. Outside the wake, surface flip, just beautiful. Going inside. This is a staple run. Wake flip, loses the handle on the wake flip, but what a competitor. Coming back in, straight back in with these big tricks. Yeah,
that was fun to watch. Those, you know, it's the only guy I can think of that does all 3 in one pass, and it's so fun to watch. That wake to wake was beautiful, got way outside the wake in the air, landed it clean. That was one of the smoothest, cleanest landings I've seen on that trick. And the second flip and the curl was solid. That was a big off the table flip. I mean, he had a lot of air there and just couldn't, you know, third time around, I imagine it gets harder and harder to hold on to that handle. He just couldn't pull it in on the third flip.
1,850 points, provisional score for Jerry. Probably going to stick at that, 1,850. Jerry Canoyer, USA, great job coming back to do that wake-to-wake flip again. All right, we've got, this is the game right here, Gus. This is the game right here. Brett Sands, Team Australia.
Yeah,
he's got a 5,000-point run, 5,600 or 5,500 in the first round. Jason Lee, 6,400. Brett is, about 200 points behind in the overall. All he has to do, if Brett Sands out-tricks that 6,400, becomes the 1,000-point winner in the overall, 6,400 points, tricks, and Jason Lee does not go bigger, then Brett Sands will be our world overall champion.
Yeah, this is amazing here. We're talking, as you said, it's 190, roughly 190 points out of a possible 3,000 for the overall that separates Brett Sands and Jason Lee. Jason Lee right now being on top, and this is going to be a big opportunity for Brett Sands as he stands up on the tower, waits his first pass. Going to do a tower start.
Yeah, Brett is 130 35 points behind in the overall in tricks right now. So you can turn it around. He can regain those points. Brett Sands, tower start. And there it is, the front flying tumble. Front flying tumble start, 1 foot stand up, just beautiful. We're going to see some multiple turns coming in here. Brett's got some very fast and clean multiples. There's turn to the back, turn to the front. This is 4 turns to the front. This is the front to front 3. Reverse front, front 3. A little bit of a bum out, but all solid. This is going to be off axis, 720 front to front. Front flip.
Wow.
Stood up the first pass. I don't think there's any problem with any of those tricks.
Yeah, it'd be hard to cut any of that. He's so fast back there. I just don't, just the way he approaches the tricks and the turns, it's everything's continuous and fast. He gets through it. He packs a lot of pretty difficult tricks into one pass and finishes up with that nice front flip and the curl.
Provisional score I just heard was 2,300, 2,300 out of the boat. Wow. 4 turns, probably got a one of his multiples, not the other, or the flip. Flip looked perfectly good to me.
Yeah, this is going to get really interesting. What I'm looking at, so we've now have a posted score for William Farrell, and they've actually bumped it up just a little. He's got William Farrell on the top spot right now, 4,380. Congratulations, William Farrell. You're going to the podium with a minimum of a bronze medal. And, looking at the scores here, William put up 900 points more in his first run than Brett Sands did. So William could, he might get higher on the podium than just the bronze. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Now, Brett, if that first pass score sticks, it's going to be very difficult for him to get to push himself into that first overall position. He needs to surpass Jason Lee, out-trick him by a number of points in order to get that overall. So 2,200, looking for 4,500 plus points or about on this run to maybe secure that overall title. Here's the toe up coming in, Brett Sands. I know he's got a set of 540-degree turns. He does. The 4 540s were 3,200. This start here is a 400-point start. Sets it down. Coming into the course. There's the 5 to the back. The 5 to the front. Nope. Fell out of it. He's back to back. 1 foot reverse. Back to front 5. Held on to it. Flips again. Does it. Nice 1 foot, 1 hand. He stood it up. There you go, Brett Sands.
He's pumped up. What a showman. Has a way of electrifying the crowd and everyone around him.
He does.
Yeah.
I think he may have got up over that 4,300 that he needs to get the gold medal.
What was interesting to me, I'm not even sure where to guess on that one because I saw repeated tricks from the front pass. So I don't know. I mean, to me, as a skier, you get in the water after the first pass and you the only thing you can ask is last trick in time, and they won't tell you whether you scored or not. But he had everything in time, but how do you know? How do you know what you got credit for or not? So Brett Sands, he took a gamble and guessed at what the judges did and didn't pay him and repeated a number of tricks hoping that he would get paid. I mean, he's a pretty smart guy, been doing this long enough, so he probably has an idea what he had to do to get the tricks in that he thinks he didn't score. He's
definitely, you'll see. I think that flip was out of time in the first run. He would have asked them. He tried it again, got the flip, got the toe start. I think the flip 750, toe start is 400. So he's going to need, over 2,000 points to get himself into that first place position. This is going to be a very, very tight race. Jason Lee, 6,480 first run, preliminary round. He's going to need to be over. Can you repeat that? Because we heard the Yeah, there's some calculation errors out of the boat there. We don't want to even assume a score for Brett Sands' second pass, unfortunately. We'd like to get it right or close to right. We think that the math in the boat is probably a little incorrect. Jason Lee, USA, on the water. His chance to get the gold medal here. He's got to go over at least 5,000. He's going to come in backwards. There it is, rolling over for the back deep. Jason Lee, outside the wake. We'll look for some multiple turns, I guess, here. Maybe the 540. There it is, there's the two back-to-backs. A back-to-front, or back-to-back 7. Reverse back-to-back 7, a little hitch, back to front to front, and there's 4 turns at the end. Skiing faster than I can talk.
Wow.
Jason Lee, two back-to-back 720s, 4 turns, comes back to the front, goes for the toe hold. Just do a front 3 out of course there to warm up for the next run.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. He really had some beautiful turning there and kept it moving. Wow. We did get a score out of the judging booth for Jerry Conoyer that came in a little higher than provisional, so Jerry's going to end up with 2,050 points. Currently in 4th place. We don't have a score yet for Brett Sands. We're waiting on a Brett Sands score.
Well, Jason Lee is 1 pass away from being the world trick champion. We're uncertain of what Brett Sands' total score is, so we can't really call it for sure when Jason comes back, but I would say if he does a stand-up pass and everything's credit, he's got a very good chance of being the gold medalist in this event. So 3,180 points, 3,180 for Jason Lee on that first pass. It's going to be quite a tight race between Jason and Brett Sands.
Yeah, I think so. Well, let's not forget Willie had the 32.80, so he probably posted the first best pass score. Anybody's guess is what's going to happen here on the second pass, and we weren't quite sure what we heard on Brett Sands. This is going to be interesting, and like you said, I certainly am not going to put any numbers in words out there until I hear a confirmation from the boat, because there just wasn't we didn't get the clarity on the microphone as to where that was going to end up, and we certainly don't want to get the enthusiasm going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, for sure. They had a little bit of bad math, admittedly, in the boat, and I told them I'm not going to announce it until we knew for sure. They had a pretty big number going on. This is Jason Lee. Stand-up pass would more than likely get him in gold medal position. He's coming in with a toe start. There he is, cutting outside the wake. We like to see Jason make a nice stand-up pass here. There's the toe up. Beautiful. Shaking it out. I don't know if he does a provisional turn or not. Probably not. Oh, fell on his first trick of the run. Now it's anybody's game here. First trick of the pass. He got 400 points for the start. Fell on his first trick. He just went into that super fast, Gus. Unfortunate start, but what an event here.
Boy, I'm shocked here. I don't know what Betsy put in those tacos and fajitas last night, but I'm kind of glad I didn't eat any of it now.
35.80 for Jason Lee, 35.80 for Jason Lee. So it looks to me like it's very possible, Gus, that Brett Sands may have got the highest run. It could be William Farrell at 43.10 provisional. Is his in yet?
Yeah, we've got a Brett Sands score right now. Looking awesome for the Aussie. 6,100 points. 6,100 for Brett Sands of Australia.
6,100. Unbelievable. Brett Sands pushed himself up in the overall, but looks like it may not be quite enough to overtake Jason Lee.
Yeah, right now what we're hearing provisionally. Is that the final? Yeah, it had to be. Yeah, right now what we're hearing provisionally is Jason Lee with a bronze medal at 3,580. We've got William Farrell at silver with 4,380. And your gold medalist and senior men's world champ in the tricks is going to be Brett Sands of Australia with 6,100 points.